How's it going, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back to my channel. So tonight I want to talk about the 12 movies I picked up during the month of March. Actually, the last 4 titles I actually showed in the Criterion flash sale that I did before, so I won't spend much time on those. I'll actually link that video to the end of this one if you haven't seen it already, but so I won't. I've already shown them, so I don't really want to spend much time on those. But these other 8 titles I think are really really good. I think actually the first one here I got from the Exchange. And it was one that I actually had to trade in a bunch of stuff to get it because it was really expensive. It was used. It's from actually Arrow Video, but the movie is A Fish Called Wanda. If you know my channel, I'm a huge fan of Monty Python, and it has 2 Pythons in the movie. You know, John Cleese and Michael Palin. He also has Kevin Kline and Jamie Lee Curtis. So this movie, it takes place in London. It's one I've always liked. I think if you're a fan of Monty Python, I think you'll like this movie a lot. It's a comedy. Kevin Kline is great in the movie. He won an Oscar for his role in this movie. But yeah, I've always loved this one. But yeah, it was actually I saw it at the Exchange. It was, like I said, really expensive, and it was actually like about 2 weeks later before I actually picked it up because I kind of assumed that nobody would actually buy it because it was really expensive. But actually on if you look on eBay and look online, this movie goes for a lot more than what I paid for it. And with that store credit that I had, I actually bought it at one. I got the store credit at one Exchange location, went to the other one. I called them and asked them if they still had this title, and they said yes. So I had them hold it for me, and I picked it up that same day, and it was like on a Sunday. And so I was really excited they still had it, and it wasn't, like I said, wasn't totally surprised based on the price, but that store credit I got at the first Exchange location actually paid for this one altogether. So it was basically an even swap basically from the stuff I got rid of. Were a lot of music that I don't listen to anymore, just a lot of overstock titles that I just want to get rid of. But so I was really excited to get this one. It has a lot of great special features on it, and I think it's a great movie. So these next 3 titles I actually picked up at the Disc Replay. If you live in Indiana, you know, like Mega Replay, they have those it's like the northern part of the state and the southern part of the state. But in central Indiana, it's all Disc Replay. But I believe it's all the same company. I've looked it up before, and I believe they're all owned by the same people. But we have Disc Replay in Indianapolis. But if you saw I did like my 10 favorite actors in a video like last month, and there's one actor that I talked about that I had like 2 titles from, and I had one title that I had gotten rid of from on DVD, and so I went to Disc Replay to actually find that title, and they were doing like a buy 2 get 1 free sale. So I spent like 45 minutes and going round and round this Blu-ray rack and to find movies that I really want to pick up. But so this first one is from Denzel Washington, has Ethan Hawke, and the movie is Training Day. So like I said, I had this one on DVD before. It was a used copy. I remember like near the end of this movie, it kind of skipped in one part. And I always assumed that maybe it was just really poor editing. And maybe it was, I don't know, but I didn't notice that on the Blu-ray at all. And I really miss this movie. I had it, like I said, I had it before, and it's like if it wasn't on like DVD before, I probably would have kept it. But so I was excited to see that. And this is the first one I found, and then when I saw that sale was happening, I thought I got to find 2 more titles to take advantage of the sale. So this one went for like $3.99. But so the other 2 titles, this is a great movie from Oliver Stone. It's one I've never owned before, but I've always liked it, even though it's a really dark movie. But the movie is Platoon. This is a lot of young stars in it. Charlie Sheen's in it, and Willem Dafoe and Tom Berenger. And so I've always liked this movie, but like I said, it's really dark. It made Oliver Stone he was really over kind of a star at the time, but it really made him, as far as directing, made him a star, and he won an Oscar for this, and he won Best Picture, and he won Best Director. So yeah, he had won Oscars. If you know, he wrote Scarface, the movie Scarface, from Brian De Palma. He wrote that title, and so he had actually won an Oscar before for writing a screenplay before. And I can't remember the movie that it was, but so he was already, already a star. And if you know his history, he was like a Vietnam volunteer basically, and this movie kind of reflects some of his experiences, even though he's not necessarily the Charlie Sheen character, but it's a lot of kind of based on his real life experiences in that time period, really dark period in his life. But yeah, I really love that one. And the other title was one that I actually had on DVD before, and it was like the collector's edition. But it's one I've always loved. It's a comedy from Bill Murray, and the movie is Meatballs. This one, like I said, the DVD had like extra, special features on it, which I'm probably not going to get rid of the DVD because it's got a lot of great stuff on it. But this one has a commentary on it, and it looks a lot better than the DVD as far as picture quality. So the three titles I picked up here, like I said, the Training Day was $3.99. This one was actually marked $7.99, and then Platoon was marked like $5.99. But when I went to the cash register, the guy said that Meatballs actually scanned for $5.99, and Platoon scanned for $3.99, just like Training Day did. So I ended up getting Training Day for free and getting the other two titles. So I thought it was a great find. And I've watched them all. They're all in great condition. So I was really excited to get those. Just to kind of upgrade some of the the DVDs I had before, and getting Platoon for the first time. So really excited about that. And actually, these next two titles were ones that I if you saw my digital code giveaway just recently, I did the digital codes for these. But one movie I really loved, it's starring an Oscar winner, Emma Stone. It's Poor Things. I enjoy this movie. It's a weird movie. I know. It's definitely not an ordinary type of movie. But Emma Stone really carries this whole film. Willem Dafoe's in it as well. So speaking of him, and I enjoyed this movie a lot. And I watched it. I just watched this again on, I think it was like Tuesday night, and loved it again. So I liked it the first time I saw it, and I did a out of the theater reaction on my channel. After I saw it sometime, I think it was like in late November or maybe early December sometime, whatever it was. But I enjoyed it then, and like I said, I enjoyed it a lot more the second time. So and then the other title was like I said, the other one I did a digital code giveaway for is a kind of a polarizing movie in some ways. But I know a lot of people that like this movie. It's basically a kids a comedy musical, but it's Wonka, starring Timothy Chalamet. If you've seen Dune Part 2. That movie's doing really well at the box office. And I think he's really becoming a star now, and I liked what he did with this role. Obviously Gene Wilder is the best, and he played it much darker. It's supposed to be Wonka in 1971, supposed to be a much darker, older, kind of character that's kind of just like most of us when we get older, we get a little more cynical. So at this time he's much younger, and he has more optimism, which younger people usually do a lot of times. And I remember last year I saw near the end of the year somebody put Timothy Chalamet on their top 10 list of worst performances of the year because they said he sang off key. What kind of music snob are you that you take this role so seriously that if you saw Gene Wilder, he didn't actually sing pitch perfect vocals in that movie either. So I don't know why people would necessarily judge him for the way he sings in this movie. But like I said, it's a kids movie, and if you've seen this movie with kids, I saw it with my nephew last year. He loved it. He's a huge Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory fan, and he loved this movie. So to me, I think that's the target audience, and kids can enjoy it too. I think it's something that kids and adults, it's something adults can enjoy. But you have to remember that it's a kids movie and not one for adults necessarily, not intended for adults. The last two titles here are actually Criterion titles. Normally I like to do my videos for Criterion separately from everything else, but I don't know if I'm going to do Criterions again. Maybe if I see used titles, I'll pick them up. As far as the next Barnes & Noble sale will be in July, so that's when I'll pick up the most titles, and then I have like a $50 coupon from Criterion where usually they do their next sale, the flash sale, in like October. So I'll probably use that then. So I definitely have more. Like I said, they'll be probably used between now and then. But this one I've always wanted to see it. It's starring Jane Fonda and Donald Sutherland. I thought it was a good movie. The movie is Clute. This is like I said, I've wanted to see this for a long time. As I was watching this movie, I thought Jane Fonda's performance is really great in this. And let the political stuff, if you have an issue with Jane Fonda, that's a lot of people probably don't know who she is or what she's, other than like Barbarella, they probably don't know a lot of about her history. But she was kind of a political kind of person at this time, and So it's like, but as I was watching, my mom has always been a huge fan of Jane Fonda, by the way. But as I was watching this movie, I thought she's giving a really great performance. And then of course, I looked it up as I was watching the movie. I was like, oh, she won an Oscar for this role, of course. I think she's won 2 Oscars. And so I thought she's really great in this movie. And Donald Sutherland's really good in the movie as well. So, Clute, I was glad to finally pick this one up. And I'll give the spine number, of course. I don't have that. I don't have it written down. It's a really small print on here. I can't really see it all that well, but I'll leave that on the obviously on the poster. You'll see the spine number. But so this other one, like I said, another used title I picked up from Half Price Books. They do that. They've been doing this thing since I think it was earlier this year. They gave these coupons out at the beginning of the year, and it's basically like every 2 months you can get like 10% off your order. And so I've already used like they did like a January, February coupon and a March and April coupon. But so this one I saw in there, they had locked behind a case. And so I was really excited when I saw this one because it's from Jim Jarmusch. And I've become a big fan. If you've seen Ghost Dog, the Way of the Samurai, I think it's called, he directed that movie. And if you've ever seen Sling Blade, he's actually on, as far as that movie, that's from Billy Bob Thornton. And there's a scene when Billy Bob goes, he's a free man at a time, and he goes to get a hot dog or something like that, and the French fried potatoes, that whole thing. But the guy that's behind the hot dog stand is Jim Jarmusch. And if you've seen this particular movie, Billy Bob Thornton, this is before Sling Blade, but Billy Bob actually made a cameo in this movie. But so the movie is Dead Man, starring Johnny Depp. I like this movie a lot. It's really kind of, I liked it a lot more the second time I saw it. Listening to the commentary, they have kind of I think sort of a commentary to it, and Neil Young actually did the film score to this movie. So I'd always wanted to see this. I want to check out more Jim Jarmusch movies. They're definitely like art house kind of films, but if you know Jim Jarmusch, he's very open as far as movies and stuff. He's not like somebody that's that's kind of snobbish about movies necessarily. He likes movies, but he prefers to do art house movies or independent movies and not Hollywood related movies. But he's not necessarily anti-Hollywood. He's not like that necessarily. But he likes to make independent movies. And so Dead Man I liked a lot, and I liked that film, the Neil Young kind of score in the movie. A lot of the score kind of sounds very similar, but I thought that was interesting that Neil Young would actually do a film score. And then the last 4 titles, like I said, I did this in the last Criterion flash sale, and I'll just kind of show these kind of stacked together here, and you can kind of, like I said, you can check out the other video because I don't want to spend a lot of time on these with this video kind of going a little bit long. But I enjoyed all these. In the Heat of the Night, Train Spotting, Romeo and Juliet, and Mikey and Nikki. So I enjoyed all those, and but yeah, check out that video if you're interested in seeing my review on those. But that's all I have for tonight. I appreciate everybody watching. My channel's been growing again here recently. I appreciate everybody watching the video. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that. And please put a thumbs up on this video. It definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great one. Thank you.